Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. First of all, excuse my fingers. I know they look ugly, but I hurt myself while I'm doing experiment at school, so that's that. So for today's video, I'm going to do kind of like a first impression, a wear test and review on this new Huda Beauty Complexion Perfection Pre-Makeup Base and their Fall Filter Foundation. So if you want to know what are my thoughts on them and how it wears on my skin, please keep on watching. Hey guys, I'm so excited today because my order from Huda Beauty just arrived in my mail today. Now, and I bought their Fall Filter Foundation and the primer, and then the best part is that they gave me a free HUDABEAUTY air freshener. And I swear guys, even though I haven't opened this packaging yet, it smells so good. Like, smells like bubblegum, like it smells so good. So moving on to the real star of this video, of course it is the foundation and primer. I know a lot of people have been going crazy for this foundation. It's been hyped so much even before it is released. I do have my favorite foundation, but each time I see Huda Snapchat about this foundation, I just cannot contain myself. I have to try the foundation. It looks so good each time she applies, so that's why I just tell myself I have to get it, I have to try them. So I bought this product from their official website shophudabeauty.com, and I ordered them on 13 October, and then it arrived to me, like to Japan, on 18 October. So it takes around a week for it to arrive to Japan. So as you guys can see, I have nothing on my face right now and I look super bad. I know I only have moisturizer on my face, and I am actually is breaking out a lot right now because I'm on my Women's Day. So I am having a lot of problem with my skin right now, and I actually didn't want to film this video because I look terrible. My skin looks so terrible, so that's why I don't want to film this. But then again, I think that it is a good opportunity for me to see whether the foundation works on, you know, a non-flawless skin, see how it covers all my acne, my scars and everything, my imperfection. Because most of the review that I saw on this foundation, like almost all of them has a really perfect skin. They have nothing much to cover. I got a really oily skin and my skin is acne prone skin. So yeah, enough with the rambling, let's go into the product. So this is how the primer looks like. It is called the Complexion Perfection Pre-Makeup Base. So on the website it does say that this Complexion Perfection Pre-Makeup Base visibly blurs the appearance of pores and fine lines, the skin for a fresher, long-lasting, flawless makeup look. So this primer retails for $35 US, and I personally think that it is a little bit high in price for a primer, but I bought it anyway and I really hope that it is worth it. I forget to mention that it has palm on it, and I'm just going to apply this primer with my finger. And because I hurt my middle finger, I have to use my point finger to apply the primer, and it felt so weird. And what I can tell right away is that this primer has sand on it, and to be honest, I don't like how this primer smells actually, but you know, we will see whether it will go away or not after this. And this primer does felt moisturizing, and it also felt sticky and tacky, which I think will help the foundation to stick on the skin better. So next, of course, it is the foundation. They have 30 beautiful shades which vary from light to a rich shade, and they also mentioned that they are already working on new shade right now. So the shade that I bought is Custard 220, and it was so hard for me to decide which shade to buy because online shopping for foundation is no fun at all, because the shade is not the same when you see it in the picture and in real life. That's why I really hope that this shade matches me well, because it will be so hard for me to return it and everything is just so much fast. So when you open the packages, you get the foundation itself, and then they also give a free primer sample inside the box. In the website, they describe this shade to be used for light skin tone with neutral and peach undertone, and it is the third lightest shade from the light range, and it comes with a plastic packaging. When I saw Huda first Snapchat about it, I really thought that it was glass, but actually it's just a plastic packaging. And she did mention better that she make this foundation in plastic packaging, because she found that glass packaging is a hassle, you know, to travel with, and she said that she like a lighter packaging, especially during traveling, which I totally get where she comes from. And to be completely honest, I don't really care whether it's plastic packaging or glass packaging, as long as the product works well, I'm okay with it. Also came with a pump just like the primer just now. Oh, and I forgot to mention that this foundation retail for $40 US, and it contains 35 milliliter or 1.18 fluid ounce. Huda did also mention that this foundation is really high in pigment and is full coverage, and one pump is enough for a full face. So I'm going to use just one pump for my whole face, and I'm going to apply this foundation on my face half with a sponge and half with a brush. And since I didn't buy the brush because I usually prefer to apply my foundation with a sponge, I'm going to apply it with this Morphe M439 brush on half of my face and a beauty blender on another half. So this is how one pump of the shade Custard looks like. I'm going to buff it on my hand first with the brush. This is how the foundation looks like after I apply this side with the brush, and I only dip my brush once just now, and it perfectly covers half of my face. And I even think that I applied too much actually. As you guys can see, the foundation does look lighter than my original skin tone, and I think it's because the foundation itself is crazy pigmented. I did apply too much foundation this side, so that's why I think I will try to use lesser foundation on the other side of my skin using the beauty blender. I forgot to mention that this foundation kind of smells perfumey, but it does go away after a while. And I also did realize that this foundation does oxidize just a little bit. It oxidized half shade darker than how it originally when I first applied it, but I don't have any problem with that because I don't think that it oxidized too much. And when I was applying the foundation felt like a concealer consistency. The consistency is a little bit thicker, and for that reason I prefer to apply the foundation with a damp beauty sponge, because I think it gives a little bit more like kind of like a natural finish compared to when I apply it with a brush. I personally think that for this foundation, even though I apply with a wet sponge, the coverage is still insane. I don't know, maybe because this brush is not that good, maybe the Huda Beauty brush is better to apply this foundation. But so far I'm liking how this foundation looks like. It covers my scars and everything, but it does cling a little bit on my dry acne scars here. But even my normal concealer will do the same things too. So now that I zoom you guys in a little bit more, I think you guys can see how my skin looks like up close. So I think even though that this foundation is a full coverage and a thick foundation, it doesn't look that cakey on me. It looks like how just a normal foundation will look like on skin. I think that the most important key to make this foundation looks good is that don't use too much, because a little bit goes a long way for this foundation. Like, I know I mentioned a lot of time, but this foundation really is highly pigmented. It is crazily pigmented that don't put too much, because if you put too much it will look so cakey and you will not look good, like seriously. And with this foundation I think I can skip concealer because I honestly think that the coverage is enough. Well, I think I will conceal a little bit under my eyes, this dark circle, but I'm not going to do it today because I'm just too lazy. And Huda also did say, oh my god, how many times did I say Huda says in this video? But she really did say to set the foundation with powder if you have oily skin, and because I have oily skin, so I'm going to set my face with powder. And today I'm going to set my face with this Fenty Beauty Invisible blotting powder, and I'm going to set my whole face because this foundation does move a little bit, so you have to set it, especially if you have oily skin. So far I think I like it better after I apply powder on top of this foundation. I don't know, I think it looks nicer. So far this foundation looks absolutely amazing. So now I'm going to finish the rest of my makeup and I'll be right back. So this is how it looks like after I apply the rest of my makeup. And please keep in mind that I didn't conceal under my eye, that's why it doesn't look that good, and I'm not that good in makeup anyway. But yeah, so far I'm loving how it looks. I'll be back maybe around night time, and I will check back on you guys, and we will see how this foundation is looking throughout the day and see whether I love it or not. So yeah, see you guys later. Hey guys, I'm actually on my study table right now, and it is already 10:38 p.m. right now, and I've been wearing this foundation for more than 6 hours actually. So this is how the foundation look like up close, and honestly I think it is not that bad actually. Okay, so first of all, let's talk about the primer. I don't know how I feel about the primer, honestly. I'm not that crazy about the primer. I don't know why, I just felt like it doesn't help with my pore that much. I think I'll be testing the primer more with other foundation and see how it works. The only thing that I can say is that if you're not into a sticky primer, then you won't like this primer. And my final thought for this foundation is that I think it is an amazing foundation. It does what it claims. It is full coverage, and it does make your skin look like you're using a filter, but you're not, obviously. But if you see up close, after a long hours, my skin does get really oily. Like, it is so oily right now because I haven't blot at all, because I really want to see how the foundation alone works. And as my skin become oilier, the foundation does move around and break a bit around my mouth and my nose, which is my problematic area. My foundation always break around my mouth. As you guys can see, it does get into my lines, and it does break a little bit on my mouth area and then on my nose, but I don't think it is that bad. I have used other foundation that is worse, so that's why I'm happy with this result, because it's been a long hours after I use this foundation. I can say that I like this foundation, but is it my holy grail foundation? I still don't know, because it is just my first time using it, and I haven't tested on hot weather like Malaysian weather, because today it is actually kind of cold. It is around 16 degrees today, and it's been raining all day, so I cannot test how this foundation works on hot weather like Malaysia. So I'm so sorry for all Malaysian that watch this video. I don't know how it works on hot weather, but even though it is kind of cold, my skin still get oily, and like I said just now, it looks so oily, and I really wanted to blot it. I think I'm going to blot it now. So I'm going to blot with the same Fenty Beauty Invisimatte powder. So after I blot it, it does look better, but of course it doesn't look as good as when I first apply it. And as you guys can see, it doesn't look that good on my around my mouth and my nose, and that is usually my problem area when applying foundation. What for sure is that if you have a lot of scars or you have a lot of things to cover, then this foundation is a great foundation for it. But if you are someone that don't really have anything to cover, I don't think that you need to get this foundation. And the final thing that I can say about this foundation is that if you don't like a full face foundation, or if you're someone that like my skin but better kind of foundation, then you won't like this foundation. And yeah, I think that is it I'm going to say for this video. It's already late. I have to take a shower and sleep because I have to go to school early tomorrow. So yeah guys, that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope this video helps someone out there that is still deciding whether to buy this foundation or not, or maybe someone that still cannot decide which shade to buy. I really hope that this video helped you, and yeah, that is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you guys haven't already, and I'll see you guys on my next video. Bye!